Hi, I'm Nancy Ann Martin, personal trainer and health coach with recipes for bodybuilders and people who just want to eat healthier. Today we're going to be making a 3-pepper pasta sauce in the crock pot. So first, let me show you our ingredients. We have each 2 red bell peppers, green bell peppers, and yellow bell peppers. 2 cans, 29 ounce each, of diced tomatoes, undrained. 1 to 2 cups of chopped onion. 2 6-ounce or 1 12-ounce can of tomato paste. 8 cloves of garlic, minced or crushed or whatever you want to do with them. 1/4 cup of olive oil, give or take. 2 teaspoons of dried basil. 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. A teaspoon of salt. And a 1/2 teaspoon of red peppers. And this is the kind that you put on pizza, little pepper flakes. Also, you can use some canola oil spray or whatever kind of spray you want on the inside of your crock pot, and that will help keep the recipe from sticking so bad and make cleanup easier. So the first thing we want to do is take that non-stick spray and just spray the inside of your crock pot fairly thoroughly, just so that the ingredients don't stick after it's cooked. Makes cleanup a lot easier. I know a lot of people use crock pot bags. I prefer not to do it with these saucier recipes. It makes getting everything out of there a lot more difficult. Sometimes the bag breaks and you've got this burned stuff. So for me, this is just a better method. Now, the mixing order on this recipe is really easy. You just dump everything in and mix it, which is one of the reasons why I like it so well. I will say I've doubled the recipe because when I went shopping, I bought a whole bunch of peppers and I just want to use them up. So this is really easily cut in half if you don't need this volume. So first we're going to dump our red, green, and yellow peppers right there in the crock pot. And now we have got 2 very large cans of diced tomatoes. Dump them out of there. And you can see I'm getting ready to overflow my crock pot, but it's okay, it'll be fine. One thing I really like about this recipe is that I just put it in the crock and walk away, and then later on the most difficult part of the meal is done. Okay, so now we've got 1 to 2 cups of onion. I found I can over onion this. Just do that to your preference. The longer it cooks, of course, the less onion you need. And I'm going to do 2 small or 1 large can of tomato paste. This is a shout out to Charla Vincent. I took your advice and I opened both ends of the tomato paste and I'm just going to push it out like that. Grab my little end. I have been trying to dig this out with a narrow spatula for 30 plus years. Charla said, just open both ends and push it through. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. There we go. Easy peasy. I'd like to have all the time back that I would have spent, digging tomato paste out of little tiny cans. And now I'm just going to dump my garlic in there. I use the jarred chopped garlic. I'm a cheater. This is my olive oil. A word about the olive oil. This is a healthy fat. The healthy fat helps the nutrients in the vegetables soak into your body easier. However, if you are really wanting to watch fat, this is not necessary. I like putting it in there because it actually gives a little bit of stick-to-itiveness kind of to the recipe, but you don't have to. This is also what makes this recipe a 1-point value per serving for Weight Watchers users, because there's a little bit of fat. Everything else in here is virtually 0 points. So if you're on the Weight Watchers program, this is a great recipe for those deep, dark times when you have run out of points for the week. I'm going to use a teaspoon here of dried basil. I love basil, one of my favorites. Another teaspoon of oregano. excuse me, that was 2 teaspoons of each basil and oregano. And this is a full teaspoon of salt and about a half a teaspoon of crushed red peppers. Now, word of warning, you really want to get these mixed in really well because you bite down on too many of those and it just doesn't taste as good. So I'm going to get this mixed up in here. Okay, so I'm getting near the ending of my mixing. This takes a little bit of effort in mixing just because that tomato paste is kind of hard to get mixed in there. Not too bad though. Now, I'm going to put my really gnarly lid because I think I set it on top of the hot burner one time. Anyway, it still works. I'm going to put this on top and I'm going to hook it in. All crock pots work different. Mine has security. I'm going to plug it in and I'm going to cook this on high today because we're in a little more of a hurry for 3 to 4 hours. Now this can also cook on low for 7 to 8 hours, and honestly you wind up with probably a little better tasting. This is also awesome reheated the next day. High and enter. There we go. Harder to do backwards. This recipe, of course, is really good over pasta. Today I'm going to be doing this over a whole grain linguine. I'm also going to make probably some Irish soda bread to go with this, and I'm going to ask my husband Sam to grill some pork chops. So that'll be a complete meal. If you want a vegetarian day, this is a really tasty recipe that will help you with that. You don't have to put it over pasta. In times of cutting and desperation for food, I've actually also put this over green beans, or you could put it over spaghetti squash, just your choice of toppings. It's a nice, chunky, really substantial kind of sauce. Good, fresh, bright ingredients. It's just delicious. So we'll be coming back in a few hours and I'll let you see the finished product. Welcome back. It is 4 hours later, 3 hours later, sorry. And I'm going to take a check on my pasta sauce here. It's all simmery and bubbling. It smells fabulous. Here is the finished yummy-licious pasta sauce. Nice big chunks of peppers and onions. Super healthy. At this point, it's ready to serve. Now, I just put a loaf of Irish soda bread in the oven. So we're going to actually get to cook this another hour, which I think is great because it's going to let the flavors meld a little more. We're going to be grilling some pork chops in the meantime. When it's time to serve, I'm going to boil some whole grain fettuccine and we'll top it with shredded Parmesan cheese. Just some other ideas for this pasta sauce. You don't have to serve it just like this. I will reuse the sauce later nights for other things, like I like to put it on top of chicken breast. You can use it over rice if you want to. I guess you could even use it over mashed potatoes, whatever you like. Just be creative, use it any way that you would use a vegetable pasta sauce that's jarred. For this recipe and other healthy recipes, please go to our Recipes for Bodybuilders Facebook page or stick around and check out the links right after this. Thanks a bunch and you have a great week. Okay, so the first...
All right.
Don't say okay.